Want to block my driveway, officer? It's gonna be another minute or two on coffee. About a decade ago, I worked the early morning shift at a fast food joint on the edge of town. We opened at 6 a.m., which meant I had to be clocked in by 5. I had a solid routine. Wake up at 4:15, out the door at 4:45, and at work by 5, no sweat. My manager was cool with a 10-minute grace window as long as things were ready by open, and I took pride in having the store spotless and coffee brewed before the doors unlocked. But one morning threw that whole rhythm into chaos. I stepped outside at 4:45, ready to roll, and found my driveway completely blocked by a police cruiser. Lights on, parked sideways. The officer had pulled someone over, probably for speeding or some other minor infraction, and decided to treat my driveway like a public street. This wasn't the first time I'd seen something like this, but it had always happened in the afternoon. Usually I'd go out, ask them to scoot forward or back, and they'd politely oblige. Not this time. I walked up to the cruiser and tapped on the window. The officer rolled it down an inch, just enough for me to ask if he could shift a few feet so I could back out. He didn't even blink. "You'll have to wait," he snapped, then turned back to his computer. I stood there dumbfounded, then turned around, took a picture of the cruiser parked squarely across my driveway, complete with timestamp, and texted it to my manager with a quick "cop blocking me in, running late." Then I waited and waited. 5 minutes turned to 15, then 30. I could have walked to work faster than this. The officer showed zero urgency, going through his paperwork like he had nowhere else to be. 45 minutes later, he finally drove off without even a glance or apology. I raced to work and arrived at 5:45, 15 minutes before open. Normally, I had a full hour to brew tea and coffee, fill the ice bin, stock condiments, check the fryer, and get registers ready. I barely had time to drop my keys before I started hustling. Everything was chaos. I almost forgot the coffee, but managed to get it brewing with less than a minute to spare. At 6 o'clock sharp, the doors opened. In walked our regulars, the local police, fresh off the night shift. They came every morning, same time, same orders, and leading them, their captain, right behind him, the same officer who blocked my driveway. The captain stepped up and asked for his usual black coffee. I smiled and said, "It'll be about 5 minutes. I got to work late this morning." He looked confused. "Late?" I pulled out my phone, showed him the photo, and said, "One of your officers blocked my driveway for a traffic stop. Wouldn't move." He looked at the image, then at the officer. Back to me. "You made the guy who brews my coffee late?" The officer started stammering excuses. Safety protocol, official duties, the usual fluff, but the captain cut him off and chewed him out in front of everyone. Loud enough for the early risers in the dining room to hear. He made it very clear that unless lives were at stake, blocking someone's driveway was unacceptable, and interfering with the coffee guy, unforgivable. 5 minutes later, I handed over the coffee, on the house. After that day, my driveway was never blocked again. Not by that officer, not by anyone. And the captain? He still came in at 6 a.m. sharp, coffee waiting, no delays, no drama. Funny thing, the officer kept coming too, but he never walked in with the group again. He waited outside, then quietly got in line behind everyone else, keeping his eyes down and his mouth shut,